Adventures Ahead, Chapter 12 in Letters on Intimacy by E.J.B. Adventures Ahead. Brandon Washington, Bertrand Davis, Jason Harrison, James Harper, Genevieve Davies, Fred Bradford, Jr., Elias Portillo, Rayshard Brooks, Eric Garner, John Crawford III, Michael Brown, Ezell Ford, Dante Parker, Michelle Crusoe, Laquan McDonald, George Mann, Tanisha Anderson, Akai Gurley, Tamir Rice, Rumain Brisbane, Jeremy Reed, Matthew Ajibade, Frank Smart, Natasha McKenna, Tony Robinson, Anthony Hill, Maya Hall, Philip White, Eric Harris. When I becomes we, this list will decease its increase. Walter Scott, William Chapman. When I is replaced with we, the second. Alexia Christian, Brendan Glenn, Victor Manuel La Rosa, Jonathan Sanders, Freddie Blue, Joseph Mann, Salvador Ellswood, Sandra Bland Albert, Joseph Davis, Darius Stewart, Billy Ray Davis, Samuel Dubose, Michael Saby, Brian Keith Day, Christian when we learn a new language of love, and leave that of oppression in the dust, we will follow a new North Star, one of truth, one of expression, one of mindfulness, one of compassion, one of regeneration, one of reverence, one of virtue, one of presence, one of wisdom, one of knowledge, one of awe, one of wonder, and one of lovability, the ability to love and be loved for our true gifts of light and wonder. When I is replaced with we, Taylor, Christian Taylor, Troy Robinson, Ashams Farrow, Ashams Farrow Manley, Felix Kumi, Keith Harrison McLeod Jr., Prosper, Lamontes Jones, Patterson Brown, Dominic Hutchinson, Anthony Ashford Alonzo Smith, Tyree Crawford, India Kager, Lavante Biggs, Michael Lee Marshall, Yamar Clark, Richard Perkins. When I is replaced with we, Nathaniel Harris Pickett, Bonnie Lee Tigner, Miguel Espinal, Michael Noel, Kevin Matthews, Betty Jones, Quintonio Legriere, Keith Childers Jr., Janet Wilson, Randy Nelson, Antronier Scott, Wendell Celestine, David Joseph, Kaylin Roquamore, Deshaun Perkins, Christopher Davis, Marco Loud, Peter Gaines, Tori Robinson, Darius Robinson, Come Close, Kevin Kicks, Mary Trujillo, DeMarcus Semmer. When I is replaced with we, Willie Tillman, Terrell Thomas, Sylville Smith, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Terrence Crucher, Pane O'Neill, Alteria Woods, Jordan Edwards, Aaron Bailey, Ronell Foster, Stephen Clark, Antoine Rose II, Botham Jean Pamela Turner, Dominique Clayton, Tatiana Jefferson, Christopher Whitefield, Christopher McCorvey, Eric Reason. When I is replaced with we, Michael Lorenzo, Dean, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. When I is replaced with we, illness becomes wellness. When I is replaced with we, illness becomes wellness. When I is replaced with we, even illness becomes wellness. The time is now. Togetherness is our destiny. Closer, come closer. Say their names. They are our brothers. When I becomes we, sisters, even illness becomes wellness. The list of names was curated by the NPR and is not complete by any means of all of their names who have found their physical death by the hand of police. Of police of Christian faith, by the hand of police, God-fearing men, brutalities of God-fearing men. The list is much greater. Only by taking matters into our own hands and hearts, by choosing love where once was chosen hate, and letting love guide us through this earthly existence, will we release our confines of oppression and turn towards each other, seeing within all beloved sister and brother. Here we learn to come closer. We are no longer scared, nor frightened, nor threatened by each other. We have come close enough to recognize the self within the other, that we share the same Mother, Earth, one who is magical, magnificent, abundant, and gracious, and gorgeous in every way. She is the provider for every living being. May we know her better than we have in our global past. May we celebrate the differences which lie in all of life manifest. May we grow courage to discover where there is hurt. May we discover their need for change and strive for healing and change. May prayer guide us through change and healing. May unity guide us through change and healing. May love grow inside each and every one of us, and love lead the way back home to each other. The world becomes home when we all become home to each other. When I becomes we, even illness will become wellness. Quote by Brother Malcolm X. So many have prepared the way for us. All we have to do is love our our job is easy. It is easier to love than to hate. Hatred causes heart problems, medical disorders, dysfunctions. Love causes ease of day, mind, body, and spirit, and joy, well-being, sisterhood, and brotherhood. Love causes more love, and more love causes more joy. We have every single thing to lose if we don't embrace change and love simultaneously now. If we do embrace change and love now, then we have everything to gain. Love is our origin. Togetherness is our destiny. After George Floyd's death, I was in Denver, where his portrait began to be painted all over the city. Blue, purple, pink, orange, rainbows, flowers, dressed, his smile, his skin. His countenance, his eyebrows, his lips, and his forehead. And I witnessed slivers of racism uproot themselves from my skin and fall to the ground from my aura, my mind, my subconscious reality. I recall the sadness and anger I felt when I learned about George Floyd's death. Yet another victim, another death due to police brutality. And yet somehow, in some fashion, without cognizance, I registered his face as mean-looking, as ugly. When I saw George's face painted over and over again throughout the city, something in my heart melted away, and the face of the most beautiful loving, man appeared. Before my very eyes. As I stood along Colfax between High Street and Race Street in the 7-Eleven parking lot, facing west, facing my mountains, my goddess, my joy, my mountains, my sun, facing west in the parking lot of 7-Eleven. It became evident to me that I, too, though am not racist, have learned to harbor racist pictures of reality in my mind. An ugly and awful gift given me by an oppressive, racist, and rapist society. A mere opinion, somebody's opinion, society's opinion. The gift given by the opinion of oppressive, racist, and rapist society. I know that I am not the only one who shed racism that day in those streets. In all the streets where the days which followed shined, the days which are among us, each and every day that passes, I find myself feeling closer and closer to the Black people. My paths cross each day. My heart feels them. We take moments, either one or few, to say, "How are you?" And with warm smiles we greet one another, and all of a sudden, in the world, I feel safe. Safer than I felt before George Floyd, the coronavirus. The name coronavirus is an omen. My beloveds, is an omen telling of the dawning of a new day, of a new age, of a new age of day. An edge of what woke up after a really long, slumberous nap. A hyper proactive, slumbery reality. The reality that what we do, what we think, what we say affects others. Those who live here with you and me. Not one action nor thought is the thinker's or doer's alone. T-I-O-D. I do admit here, I don't recall what TIOD stands for, represents. When I remember, I will put it in the footnotes. And the next chapter and last chapter of the first book in the series of Sex, Death, and Rebirth. The the 11th or 12th chapter in Letters on Intimacy, written by E.J.B. Illustrations by G.S.B. Chapter 11. May the sex you have empower the life you live forever. Excuse me one moment. Getting a little teary-eyed over here. Boogers in the napkin. May the sex you have empower the life you live forever. May we all breathe, find strength and libertad in voice, and sing of our minds and our hearts. Our skins are twins, and our eyes are kindred too. This world is made of love particles, in, of, and in between, in, of, and betwixt me and you. There are those of us who believe this is the end. Dear brothers and sisters, every friend, it is the beginning. We are dead and gone. Our bodies and minds have been floating in toxic sludge for so long. We have been hibernating the longest winter of our entire existence. All of our ancestors combined, and have only nearly recently begun, one by one, to wake up and see the business as usual life before our very eyes. It robs, it takes from each other, it stabs you in the back, it's snobbish and cruel, it's made up of lies, it's fake It pretends to be and to provide that which it cannot. It casts spells of misfortune even upon those with much worldly fortune. And it busies people with worry over worldly fortune. It cherishes mass-produced diamonds over the prairie grass and flower over human life. That life, the one that is cruel, that refuses to feel, that life is gone. And we are aware that we have been doing it all wrong for so long. That's right. Sex. XXX. Sex. We've been doing that part wrong for so long. Sex and business. For business follows sex, and sex follows business. And business, as usual, lacks human connection, as therefore does sex, as usual. Ironically, because the primary nature and function of business is to connect, same as sex, to create and maintain a healthy network of businesses which connect and meet the various needs of each other and the community. And of course, the primary nature of sex, the primary nature and function of sex is also connection. And within the experience of connection is the ability to know someone more and consequently love them more. And because of the very nature of love, when we come close enough to love, we see that which is typically overlooked, which is that all of us matter, and how we interact with each other matters in a society consumed by the expectations put on sex by the porn industry. We have delved into a type of sex which disintegrates human connection and our ability to be authentic and vulnerable as ourselves with others, which is empowerment. By the way, the ability to be vulnerable and authentic with ourselves and others is empowerment. The problem within our sex and our business as usual mentality is that they have both become too disjointed, fast, with emphasis on external power and gain. The likeliness of such facets leads down a road where sustainability is not regarded, where nourishment of well-being is not regarded, and what is regarded above all else is profit and external power by any means. This typically involves manipulation of one or many, taking advantage of the popular power structure and dynamics of a company wheel where those on top make significantly more than the tiers of lower wage paying jobs, which by nature creates distance between humans and a distorted sense of knowing and understanding others. Our power structures are the ingredients for othering, the act of mentally identifying oneself as superior to another or others, or inferior to another or others. Othering creates superiority and inferiority complexes. These social structures and complexes create a world where it is easy for a cop to kill people of color because it has been internalized that people of color matter less. Our disjointed social landscape is beyond matters of black and white. It's a matter between the human race, matters which pit the human race against itself, others. I was raped by a black man in a black neighborhood, and I was raped by a white man in a white neighborhood. These are not political issues. The raping of women within every culture and the public killing of black men out in our streets. These are social issues, rooted in the manner in which we think of ourselves and others. Women are not safe in a world of othering, of segregation. Men are not safe either. There are no such thing as black and white people. We are, each and every one of us, are colors of our Mother Earth. Mismo la roca, la madre. Colores de las piedras de la tierra, de la madre. Su madre. Mi madre. Nuestro madre. Estamos los colores de mi madre. Nuestro madre. Browns, pinks, tans, rojos, browns, pinks. Estamos las arenas. Estamos los colores de las arenas. Nuestra madre. Nuestra madre tiene aguas problemas. Nuestra madre necesita nuestra ayuda. Our mother has troubled waters. She needs our help. Her waters, our waters, are troubled because of the manner in which we have grown accustomed to relate to one another, to do business with one another, to make love to one another. We've grown accustomed to maintaining enough distance between one another, providing the environment wherein everybody gets fucked. What is amiss here is connection and concern for the well-being of each other, another, each other, another. The stature of our ability to relate to the world around us has made waste to the earth which provides everything for everyone naturally. Mass production, plastic over everything, disposable products, disposable labor, disposable people, disposable relationships have all contributed to the diminished quality of water and of breath. Gratefully, we have been given a second chance. Or perhaps this is our millionth. May we take heed to all that which we must change in order to arrive at our world family, where everyone matters. And girl, boy, ma, pa, it's better we're late than never to arrive. Judy Wicks, author of Good Morning Beautiful Business, shares in her book a vision of a world peace where each person in the world is invited to a dinner party where there is a table set for 7.8 million, where there is room for us all to dine together, where we all matter and make room to meet, greet, and eat. Our dinner conversation consists of our stories, our traumas, our trials, our heartaches, our heroes, our messenger crows, and our new dedication and steadfastness to accessing, accessing and actualizing love, to healing, to healthy human relationships, to earth, to matter, to Madre Tierra, nuestra madre, nuestro madre, mi madre, tu madre. At the table set for 7.8 billion, love matters most. Love is our origin and our destiny, a destiny which we won't be arriving to separately. The only way to arrive is to arrive together. Togetherness, love is our destiny, and sex is our creative energy. How we will arrive together to our world of peace, harmony, empowerment, and love, and leave behind one of subjugation, control, domination, coercion, and force, restraint and chains and distance choke our true calling. Come close. Become one. Listen and be. And may the trails tell of us in loving honor of all throughout eternity, of our encounters with time, of our learning, of our deep, rich sorrow, of our love and our good deeds, of our sex, death, and rebirth. Sex enlivens and connects us to our true origin of love, of self and expression. It strengthens relationships. Sex is the greatest and most sincere form of truth-telling, of truth of being, of intimacy, of sharing what is. Sex is the mingling of souls, the remembrance of souls, of soul power, of destiny, of yearning, of love. Sex strengthens our mortal ability to follow our mortal and immortal destiny of togetherness, of love, to create a world, even a world of peace. So, as long as our sex resides within mutuality of empowerment, of togetherness, and releases all physical manifestations of external power and control, objectification, othering, belittling, and greed, make change and share it. And may the sex we have empower the life we live forever.